Hey, I'm Jim Award and welcome to my review for Insidious Chapter 2. Back from watching film in the cinema. I have my ticket here to confirm it. There you go, awesome stuff. Now, practically me and my friend walked out the cinema doing this. The movie is that good. We both give it a 10 out of 10. Just flawless, absolutely fantastic. And if you have not seen it yet, you're denying yourself a great movie. This is the review for Insidious Part 2.
Why did you black out the sun?
The storyline continues straight after the events of the first movie. The actual family have gone to the actual mother's house to kind of, get back in a solid mind again after the events of the first movie. There's going to be spoilers in this review if you have not seen the first Insidious movie, so please turn this video off if you have not seen the first one, then come back. And for people that have seen the first one, that have seen the movie, please stick around. There's much delight to be said. Now, as in terms of the storyline goes, it nails it as an actual sequel. Now, this is James Wan's very first sequel. Out of all the movies he's done, Saw, Death Silent, Death Sentence, this is the first he's chose to do, and I can see why. He definitely must have thought instantaneously of doing a sequel after finishing the first movie. There's so much potential, and you can see it in his writing, and you see how he's paced the scenes, how he's intellected them and connected them together. It's just flawless, absolutely fantastic. I went in this movie with kind of a middle ground expectation. I love the first movie. I've heard some really bad reviews, heard some really good reviews. So I was thinking, this can't be that bad, it can't be. And I walked out the cinema thinking, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'll give this a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever rating you want to give it. Just fantastic, and it does everything I want to see with a movie. Now, granted, this movie is not this scare factor or the kind of like in your face or does massive bunch of jump scares. It's more the tension, it's more atmosphere and creepiness, and just how the scenes kind of play out, and they always foreshadow certain things or they interlink certain things. So when you see something like the start of the movie, it plays out later on in the movie. So if you're keeping a key eye, or if you're actually paying attention to the movie, which I imagine the people that hate this movie clearly didn't, you would actually appreciate the level of detail that actually has gone into it. And just exactly what I wanted to see in the sequel. It's got that kind of shining kind of factor to it, with the actual main Patrick Wilson's character is in the movie, of course, returning character. And after the events of the first movie, of course, something is not quite right, and there's scenes where they've got like a shining, and there's like a bit of an unnervous edge to it, like he just appears, and it's like he's like in this shining where Jack's slowly cracking under the pressure, and he's starting to lose his mind under this house. And there's certain scenes and certain look. It's got that in it, the movie. And there's just certain expressions and certain way they look at you. It's like, ooh, interesting. And there's definitely some layers that keep building on top of each other, and it definitely just pay off. I mean, there's some really awesome, cool factors in this movie, which I'm not going to say too much about for spoiler reasons, of course. The cast and crew are all back in this movie, which is absolutely fantastic. It's of course written and directed by the same person as the first movie. They all did an absolutely fantastic job. You got the little kid, which usually in horror movies is usually a bad thing, but he was really good in this movie. Nice to see him back again, of course. And they explore exactly everything that I liked about the first movie and simply amplified it, simply explored it, and they simply added more knowledge and more reasonings, more explanations, and it's just doing what a sequel should do. Taking the first one, expanding the story, linking it in. The main actor, the main dad, Patrick, as a character, of course, Night Owl, did a fantastic job. He was playing a different type of kind of way of the character. If you kind of, without giving away twists, let's just say he was playing a certain type of way of the character, unlike the first movie, and I think he did a really good job. I think he came off a bit creepy, he came off very interesting. I think he did a really good job. The wife character did a really good job also. I felt she was very strong as an actual female protagonist, being the fact that she was naturally scared and just frightened. She wasn't like, annoying or whiny or screaming or anything giant. She was genuinely just afraid. She wanted to move past this from the first movie and just move on with her life. And obviously the events that have, the actual spirits and the ghostly stuff have not finished with the family yet, and I love that. And she was quite strong out of it, and she did pick up on things, she did defend herself, really well. I love the fact they returned the two investigators from the first movie. They were really cool. They were a bit of the comic relief in the action movie. Now, a lot of people said the actual comedy was very unnecessary, but I disagree with that massively. I love the fact that the actual movie was not 100% serious. It had a bit of a comedy factor, a little bit to it in some scenes, which is good to break up the tension in some places, and to kind of like, you know, these are people like you and me, and even though they're investigators, and they are actually our people, and they react to certain situations like, yes, I will react to that. And there's definitely some right decisions with the actual mother character down in the house, thinking something's not quite right and creepy, and doing something that every person should do: turn on the lights, kind of thing. You know, not being an idiot about it. I really like the decisions in this movie. I really like where the movie took place. It's got a 3-act structure, of course. The first act I felt was, of course, you know, gives a little breathing room after events of the first movie. You know, taking its time, a bit slow in places. Character development, where these people are at a state of mind at, and then it slowly builds up tension, and it definitely, all the things that happened in the first act are linked in, everything with the rest of the movie, and then it starts building up those layers again, and like, you know, the ghosts and the supernatural stuff is still amongst them, and the middle act of the actual movie, I think, is absolutely fantastic. It definitely gets into the meat of it, explanations, more reasonings. Third act is just fantastically awesome. I'm not going to say what it is. Go and experience it for yourself. I hugely recommend this movie to you at the cinema. It's just a really well done sequel. James Wan knocked out the park yet again. Good acting, good atmosphere, well driven told story. Definitely pays off the way I wanted to, and there's potential for a third movie. But I think if they're going to do a third movie, it should be the last. It should be no more. Do not drag this franchise into the ground. I think there's only so much more you can do with this franchise. There's potential to do more, and I like the fact they're going to do another movie, which is good. But I think the third one should be the last one. Ends up as a trilogy, done and finished with. This is a great sequel, better than the first one. Go and check it out. Go and experience it. And please, for all the haters that hate this movie, seriously, did you watch the movie blind or something? I don't know. Anyway, this has been my review for Insidious Chapter 2. Hope you enjoyed watching this review. What did you think of the movie? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Comment down below. So in the meantime, it's Andrew from Video from Game TV. Signing out.